My name is Andy. I'm here today to present my top 10 ways for living with CVID. Number 10, find an advocate for yourself. I was diagnosed at age 6, approximately 36 to 37 years ago. When I was 6, I couldn't take care of myself through what I consider the medical industrial complex. My mom was my advocate. She took me to hospitals all around the country in search of a cure. I owe my diagnosis and my health today to her. When you're an adult, your mom probably won't be the one taking care of you, so you need to find an advocate who can take care of you, who can make those decisions for you, who can fight with insurance companies or fight for your rights, your dignity in your health decisions. Number 9, try to eat well. I have eaten fast food for large parts of my life. My weight has fluctuated a lot. In recent years, I have learned the benefit of eating well. Now, I don't mean that you have to become a vegetarian, you have to go on strange diets, but at the very least, try to eat on a regular basis, try to eat well, limit your caloric intake, and it will definitely benefit you in the long run. Number 8, always have something to look forward to. There are so many times where you may not feel well, and the best thing you can do for yourself is to have something to look forward to. Doesn't matter whether it's a vacation, whether it's going out on a date with someone that you care about. When you don't feel well, you're living in the present, and sometimes it's hard to see the future. Having something that you will enjoy, that you can look forward to, will make all the difference. Number 7, try to exercise on a regular basis. It makes a huge difference, whether it's in your breathing capacity for your lungs, fighting depression, maintaining your weight. Personally, I have enjoyed weightlifting, I've enjoyed swimming, bicycling. There are many things that you can do that will help you. Exercise is one of them. I would always try to give it a chance. Number 6, find your own remedies. Throughout my time, I've had a lot of different problems, whether it be chronic sinusitis, gastrointestinal problems, arthritis joint problems. I'm going to share today a couple of my remedies that I've done. Number 1, daily saline rinses, especially when I'm on the road. I find that my nose is plugged that much more. Now, you don't need a lot of complicated equipment. When I started this vacation, I went to the Whole Food store and bought a 59-cent container of salt. Every morning I pour that into a cup and stir it up, and I snort it into my nose. It's not pretty, but it's very effective and helps you breathe. A second home remedy is every night I take a big glass of apple juice with a large amount of psyllium in it. Psyllium is the main ingredient that's in products like Metamucil. They will help you be regular. It helps me manage my gastrointestinal problems, and it's dramatically increased the quality of my life. Another home remedy is I belong to a health club that has both a jacuzzi and a steam room. Steam room is probably the single biggest thing that has helped my health over the years. I personally, over the last 25 years, have really developed a tolerance to high heat steam rooms. I make them as hot as I can get. It clears out my sinuses, it helps clears out my lungs, it makes my skin feel better, it helps me sweat out things. It will make a real difference in your life if you can do that, because it just helps you get out all the nasty stuff that's inside of you as part of your immune deficiency. Also, for jacuzzis, I find the hot water really helpful for my joint pains that I've gotten in increasing in the last few years. It makes a world of difference. I say get in one as often as you can because it feels so good. Number 5, accept your diagnosis. Now, It's interesting because I see two groups of people when I come to these conferences. One group is those who have been diagnosed as an adult, and they're often coming here looking for answers, trying to learn everything about their condition, looking for every medical solution possible. Another group, like me, are those who were diagnosed as children. I have never known I don't remember at all what it's like to not live with CVID, because I was diagnosed at such an early age. But I can tell you, there were times in my life where I was a young adult and very angry about my diagnosis. Beginning around my teenage years all the way through my early 20s, I fought my diagnosis. I was an angry kid. I got into trouble. In college, I actually believed that I could live without my gamma globulin. I went for 8 weeks, 2 separate times, and landed myself in the hospital with pneumonia. But it's what I needed to do to be able to accept my diagnosis. I would hope that hearing my story that some of you can get to that place a little easier, because it is a tough way to learn that message. But the sooner that you can accept your diagnosis, the sooner you can go on with living your life and recognizing that you are not defined by it. Number 4, manage your stress. Not an easy thing to do, but something that is very necessary. I have a very stressful work job. Sometimes I'm working up to 80 hours a week. Probably the biggest thing that helps me reduce stress at the end of the day is just coming home and petting my dogs and just relaxing, sometimes watching a little TV, sometimes taking my dogs for a walk. It doesn't matter what you do, but you need to find a way to manage the stress in your life. If you don't, it will adversely affect your health, and that will not be good in the long run. Number 3, self-infuse. This is one of the things that will set you free. I grew up at a time when there wasn't intravenous gamma globulin. I started with intramuscular, which required me every 2 weeks to be pulled out of class, get 2 big shots in each butt cheek, and then sent right back to school. Kind of a painful way to be healed. But I can tell you that over time, the options have gotten a lot better, whether it's through intravenous gamma globulin or through the subcutaneous method. I've been on intravenous gamma globulin for 30 years, and I've been self-infusing for the last 20 years. Before I learned to self-infuse in my college days, I would drive myself to the medical center. It would take about 5 hours. The first hour to hour and a half, I would be sitting in the waiting office just waiting for them to mix up my medicine, because they wouldn't constitute it until I arrived because of the cost of it. Nowadays, I wait and infuse on a Friday because I know I won't feel so great the very next day, so I give myself the whole weekend to recover. After work, I sit down and I can infuse 40 grams in about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm lucky in that I've never had any allergic reaction to a gamma globulin product, I think in part because of how long I've been on them. But I can tell you, self-infusing will set you free. Number 2, love, family, and friends. There is nothing like having a supportive environment to your health. I have not been hospitalized for the last 20 years, and I honestly believe it's due in large part to my wonderful wife who's attending this conference with me today. I can tell you that having her in my life, having my small circle of friends, and my parents and family have made a huge difference. They are people I can always rely on. They're people who will have my back in any circumstance. It gives me the security, the confidence in dealing with my condition. I cannot tell you how important it is to have people who care about you close to you. And the number 1 way of living with CVID is sleep. I cannot tell you how important sleep is. I sleep on average 7.5 hours a day, although I'd like to get 8. When I infuse the very next day, I like to try and get 9, 10 if possible. Your body heals itself while you sleep. There is nothing more important than that. If you sleep 8 hours a day, 1/3 of your life is spent sleeping. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't put yourself into a sleep deficit. It will only hurt you in the long run. I hope that telling you today a little bit about my story will give you some ideas on how you can improve your health in the long run. And remember, be happy, be healthy. Thank you.